Hello, friends. Welcome back to English Classes Online. My name is Benjamin. Today's video is on how to use phonetic skills to easily and correctly answer oral English questions. Score high in English test of orals in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, National Examinations Council Senior School Certificate Examinations, and other equivalent English exams. If you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Click on the bell icon as well so that whenever a new video is uploaded on this channel, you will be notified instantly. Without much ado, let's dive into the lesson. Now, one of the major difficulties students face in oral English exams is how to identify speech sounds in written words. Today, I am going to show you how to identify vowel sounds in written English words. There are certain phonological rules we are going to use to determine which vowel sound we have in a given written English word. This will help you in answering questions correctly in any oral English test. Of course, we looked into this aspect briefly in respect of the Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board English exams. But today our spotlight is on the West African Senior School Certificate Examination. All right. Now, identifying vowel sounds with phonetic skills. You know, when we talk about phonetic skills, we are talking about the ability to identify a specific English sound, speech sound, in a given written English word. You know that in writing, we use letters of the alphabet, but in speaking, we use speech sounds. Your ability to reconcile the discrepancy between spelling and pronunciation is what phonetic skills are all about. So let's look at some of the skills or rules, if you like, that we can apply, you know, that will enable us to identify vowel sounds using phonetic skills. Now, the first rule states that when a single vowel comes between two consonants, the vowel is short. And that is what we have in sit, set, met, rich, sat, fat, man, pat, rat, cat, pin, pot, hot, and so on. You can see here that there is a specific, we have two consonants here, S and T. And so the vowel that comes, you know, between them is the vowel E, all right? Now, it becomes short because of the rule we have stated. It comes between two consonants, all right? Two single consonants. And so because it comes between two consonants and it occurs within a syllable, then the vowel sound has to be short, and that is what we have seen here. Now, rule number 2 is that when a single vowel comes before two consonants, the vowel is usually short as well. Examples are limp, jump, but, glimpse, later, better, porter, tapping, etc. Now the rule is this. Now the vowel here is the E vowel, all right, and it comes before the two consonants M and P, all right. So because it comes between the two consonants M and P, this vowel sound is short. Then let's look at this also. Because it comes before the double T here, the sound of U here is short. The same thing happens here. Let's look at tapping. You know, this vowel R comes before the double consonant P here. So it is the short R sound. And even if we have tap with a single P, because this vowel comes between the two consonants, T and P, then we have it short. So you can see these two rules give us the phonetic skills, the ability, the knowledge with which we can identify how a given vowel sound should be realized. You know, how we can identify them in given written English words. Now, let's look at the third rule here. When two vowel letters are adjacent, the second vowel is silent and the first vowel is long. We discussed this when we were looking at JAMB, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Boards exam. We also talked about phonetic skills. But what will be different in today's video is that we are going to look at a past-wide question, a whole section on vowel sounds, and we use these skills to answer those questions comprehensively. When we treated the first video on JAMB exam questions, we took only a few questions, but today we are going to look at the whole section. So here, examples are long. Okay, so no. This first vowel is long. This is not an example. Now, the first example is sit. You see two vowel letters, E and A. And so the rule says that the second letter is silent. Look at the second letter here is silent. And then the first letter is long. It becomes a long. We elongate the first sound and we mute the second. So what we have is the sound of E. And then the sound of A is muted, is silent. So that is the rule. Then when we look at the word boat, what we have is a situation where the sound of A is muted because it's the second vowel letter. It is silent. The first one is O and it is long. It is elongated. So what we have is a long O. Oh, so what we have is boat. The same rule applies to moon, goods, meat, and so on and so forth. Now, the fourth phonetic skill or rule, if you like, states as follows. When a word ends in a silent E, the vowel is long. Now, a silent E is a word that, A silent E is the letter E that is not pronounced in a word. Now, one example is the word bite. So we do not pronounce this as bite. So E is silent, it's bite. Now, the rule is this. When a vowel ends in a silent E, the vowel is long. The vowel here is the vowel which we pronounced as E in the other two examples, short E in the first two rules, and long E in some examples in this third rule. But here, it becomes a double sound. It becomes a very long vowel, a double sound, a, a, a diphthong, if you like. So it is bite, bite. Now, the second example is might. Next, smile. Next, move. Now, because the word move ends in a silent E, then the vowel sound here is long, is the long U sound, is move. Now, the word plain ends in a silent E, so the vowel sound here is ain, ain, a diphthong, a double sound, a double vowel sound, plain. The same applies to joke, oh, spoke, oh, tune, ooh, pine, I. So that is the rule. When a word ends in a silent E, the vowel is long. The next rule is as follows. When a vowel stands alone, it is long. So here we see the vowel in B. E stands alone, it doesn't follow, it doesn't come before any consonant. It stands alone. And so when a vowel stands alone, it is long. So this is a rule, a phonetic rule that you can apply, and you use it to answer questions correctly in vowel sounds, all right? So examples are B, because E stands alone, you can see E here standing alone. Then me, because E is standing alone. Far, because far is standing alone. You may say it comes before R, but R here is really not a complete consonant. All right, it's not a complete consonant. So what dominates this syllable is the vowel sound. So it is pa. The same thing here in poor, because this R sound stands alone, so it is really, really long. Or poor. This one is C. It also stands alone. All right, it stands alone, and because it stands alone, it is long. The same thing with this. So these are the phonetic skills, or the phonological rules, if you like, that enable us to identify vowel sounds in written English words. All right, so let's quickly erase. Let's very quickly erase these marks so that we can go to a completely new slide without getting confused. Now, using the vowel letters, you can see that we can use vowel letters also, but we are not going to pay much attention to this. This was covered in our last video in relation to joint admissions and matriculation board. Now let's go straight to, this is the vowel chart, all right, that will also enable you. This is, you know, a a list of, the vowels, the monotones, and how you can, find how they occur, how these sounds occur in specific English words. All right. Again, we're not going to look critically into that. Let's dive right away into West African Senior School Certificate Examination of June 2020, English Language 3, Test of Orals. And so the section 1 is what we are going to deal with. And the instruction is from the words lettered A to D. Choose the word that has the same vowel sound as the one represented by the letter or letters on the line. And we have an example here. But let's go straight into the questions and attempt to use the phonetic skills we have just learned to answer the questions. All right. Now, the first question here, we are given the word womb. Womb. Now, what you do is to first of all attempt to get the pronunciation quite correctly. All right, get the pronunciation correctly, and when you are able to do that, then of course it will be easy for you to be able to handle the rest. So here we have womb. All right. Let me try as much as possible to do some transcription here. So first we identify with the correct pronunciation for the given word. The word here is womb, womb, all right? And then we pronounce the options and try to identify. But first of all, the sound we have here is the long oo sound. All right, so let me attempt to give you the sound. The long oo with 2 dots. Try to get this. All right, so that's the sound in womb. Womb, all right, is the long oo sound. Then the first option here is book. The sound here is the short oo, so it's really not the answer. It's the short oo we have here. Then fool, this actually is the answer because here we have the long oo, okay, with 2 dots. Fool. All right, so then you try to compare this with this and you perceive the correspondence. All right, womb, fool, womb, fool. So you can see. The next one is come. The next one is bum, bum. So the correct answer is fool. All right. Now, the second one is death, death. Now, the sound here is the long air. All right. This is the sound we have here. We do 2 dots as well. That's the sound we have here. All right. I want you to really understand. So we pronounce this word, then we capture the sound, and of course, we also have to look at the phonetic skills we learned. Applying that to this first question, which is womb, we discover that, this is an exception to that rule because it will appear that we have 2 consonants, M and B, but there is another phonological rules that nullifies this and makes B silent. In most English words, when or where B comes after M, then B is silent. And that is what applies here. What we have is womb, B is silent. And so the rule, of course, does not apply when we have two consonants coming before a vowel sound, a vowel, and then the vowel becomes short. Again, it might appear that the word, this vowel sound comes between two consonants, W and M. Yet there is an exception to that rule in the sense that M is a voiced vowel, is a voiced consonant, is a voiced consonant. And in most cases, a voiced consonant tends to influence the vowel that comes before it in most cases. All right. So again, another factor is that you see that W here is also a voiced consonant. So when you add this up, you can see why the sound, the vowel sound here is long, contrary to the phonetic rule we earlier learned, which states that when a vowel comes between two consonants, then the vowel is short. This is an exception to the rule. Whenever you have a set of rules, you also have to look for the example, for the exception. This is one of the exceptions to the rules. Then again, we can see that the vowel sound, the vowel here comes between two consonants, but we can see that because I combines with R, there is a different phonological rule that states that in most cases, a combination of the vowel letter I and the vowel consonant R tends to give you a long sound, a long vowel sound, which is in most cases. And I can give you so many other examples. Well, let me give you so many other examples where you have this. For instance, the word Ssce. The word Ssce, all right? The word bed, yes, the word bed, you can see that it is the long bed, all right? Then you have it in a number of other English words. Let's not really spend most of our time on it. But I have explained to you, you can look for other examples yourself, all right? So here, that's exactly why the sound here is essentially long, all right? So that we have the long air sound here. And so option A is pet. So this is short air, pet, all right? Then the option B is more like it, all right? Option B is more like it. Of course, that's another rule. When you have a combination of O and R, in most cases, it gives you the long air sound. So what we have here is with, all right? C is said, sword. Please, this is all, sword. This is deed. So here is where you have a similar vowel sound, which is long, all right? So that makes this the correct answer. But let me actually give you some, let me give you some examples, you know, apart from word, we have word, we have world, we have, well, these two will suffice. So that is the rule, that when the letters vowel O and the consonant R combine in most English words, it is realized as a word. In some cases, it is or. It's either long or long a. All right, so that is the rule. Then let's look at all right. Now let's look at question number 3, and that is west. All right. Of course, you find a lot of people always pronouncing this as worst. It is not or, it is just the same long S sound that we saw in the previous examples. So this is west, west. It's not worst, it is west. And then option A, so option A is fiery, is out of it. Option B is cord. This is or. It is out of it. Option C is foot. Foot, the short U sound. It is out of it. Option D is worship. So this is absolutely correct. It is worship. Again, it is not worship. It is worship. 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 So that is actually the answer to this particular question. That's the correct option here. And how do we apply the phonetic skill here? Of course, the phonetic skill has just been nullified. The rule we stated has just been nullified by an exceptional rule, especially because this vowel combines with a consonant that compels it to be long. So when you have O coming before R, then the R that comes before O compels it either to be a long A sound or to be a long O sound. Now let me, let's not waste our time, but when you look at the word Lord, L-O-R-D, O-R there is the long O, all right? So then let's look at question number 4. What we have is hall, hall, and here what we have is the long O sound with 2 dots. Now again, you can see that this is an exception to our phonetic rule that when a vowel comes between 2 consonants or comes before 2 consonants, either it comes between 2 consonants or it comes before 2 consonants, then the vowel is short. But this is an exception, and just as I explained earlier, where you have a voiced consonant, it influences the vowel that shares a common boundary with it. L is long, and this A sound comes before L, so you have it as long O, and this is what you have in ball. The same thing applies in ball, B-A-L-L, ball. So it is not ball, it is not ball, it is ball. It is not hull, it is not hull, it is hall. All right, so the long O sound. Okay, so then when we look at the options critically, then we see that option A is the right option, because here we have O combining with R, and what we have here is the long O sound. I told you that when O comes before R, this combination will give you a long vowel, A or O. But here it gives us all, shortage, shortage. Option B is love. This is the central vowel sound that lies in the border between R and O. It is not R and it is not O, it is love, love. This same is here, it is courage, courage. The same thing is here, it is country. It is not country, it is country, country. All right, so the right option, the correct option is A, which is shortage, shortage. Then question 5 actually gives us the exact example of rule number 1 in the phonetic skills that we earlier saw. And here, this is the rule that applies when a vowel comes between two consonants. It is usually short. And if you look at it, you discover that there is no voiced consonant here to influence it to become a long vowel. P is a voiced, is a voiceless, bilabial plosive. P. The counterpart is B. B is long. B is voiced. P is voiceless. Now T is also a voiceless alveolar plosive. Voiceless alveolar plosive. So between this vowel comes between two voiceless consonants. So it has to be short in line with our phonetic rules. So what we have here is the short E sound. You can see it here, short E. All right, that's exactly the way it is. Okay. So now let's look at the options. Option A is blight. This is I, so it is out of it. Option B is pious. This again is out of it. Pious, pious. This is a triphthong sound. Then C is hatred, hatred. So here we have the right option because this is the short E sound. Hatred, hatred. All right, it's not hatred, it's hatred, hatred. Then option D is paint, ain't, a. Of course, it's a diphthong here, a, the diphthong a. So it is really out of it. The correct answer is hatred. All right. Then let's look at question number 6. What we have here is pint, pint, pint. All right. Pint, ain't. So what we have here is a triphthong. No, it's a diphthong, please. I is a diphthong. Okay. Is I. So it is I. So what we have here is pint, pint, ain't. All right. But we look at I. Now the first option is plait, which is plaiting the hair. This is a short R sound, is out of it. The B option is lisp. This is the short E sound. Option C is by. This is the sound. Here we have I. All right. By. So this is the right option. Option D is late. No. 8. So it's really out of it. So this is out of it. All right. This is out of it. Just to show you it's not the option. All right. Okay. So this is the right option. Then you can compare, compare this by and pint. Buy, pint, you have the same I sound in pint and the same I sound in buy. So again, you can see that this is an exception, of course, to the rule, the phonetic rule, but it sets another phonetic rule. Of course, here you see that N is a voiced consonant. This is a velar. This is a velar plosive, and so it is voiced. So pint, pint. All right. So it comes directly before before this sound. So that makes it long. Now let's look at question 7. Canoe. Again, you see that the rule that applies here is the phonetic rule that states that when a vowel stands alone, it is long. All right. So here you can see that whichever rule we apply, another phonetic rule says that where you have two vowel letters, the second one is silent and the first one is long. So what we have here essentially is rule, okay? That exactly is the rule that apply. Okay, so now the rule, as I earlier mentioned here, is a rule that specifically or agrees with the phonetic skills we learned. So the sound here is the long U sound, all right, canoe, all right, with two dots. So you can see that exactly is the rule that applies here. Now the vowel stands alone. And again, if we look at two vowel letters, E has to be silent and the other letter O, which is pronounced as U in most English words, is long. So we have U, canoe. Then let's look at the options. Option A is more like it, because there we have the long, there we actually have the long sound. And so truce, that actually is, it has the long U sound, truce. All right, truce. Okay, so then again, you can see that there is a rule that can apply here where a word ends in silent E, the vowel is long. So here we have truce and E is silent. We do not have truce, we have truce. And so this makes this long, okay? So that's the rule that applies. But then the next option is pull. This is simply the short U sound. Then option C is do. All right, is do. That actually is the actual sound of that one. It is do. Then D is the long O sound, sure. So the correct option is truce. Now, question number 8, we have fetal, fetal. And you see here that the underlined vowel letter here is long, is A, fetal, A, fetal. All right, that's the sound here, fetal. Option A is hard, is out of it. Option B is fat. This is a short R sound because it comes between two voiceless consonants. Then option C is bad. This is out of it. Option D is bail. So this is actually where you have it. You have the same sound of A diphthong, A. Please don't mind the spelling here. This is A, all right? E and I, if you like, all right? A. All right, so the actual option here is bail. That is D, and that is correct. Okay, so question number 9, jeopardy, jeopardy. Again, we can see the rule that applies here, where you have two vowel letters. The second one is silent, and the third one, and the first one is long, but this is an exception. This actually is short S sound. Like I said, there is always an exception to every rule. All right. Don't forget that the actual sound of this should be E. So it's not going to be E sound, it's E sound. And because E in most cases is a derived sound, the actual vowel letter is letter E, but there are various derivations. But then this is the short E sound, the one you have in bed, B-E-D. So it is E. What you have in pet, bet, let, and so on. So it is jeopardy, jeopardy. And so option A is check. This is actually correct because you have the same sound. B is people, out of it. C is probe, out of it. D is fired, out of it. Then question number 10, we have staff. Now this is the central vowel sound and it is short. Again, this is in line with our phonetic rule. When a vowel comes before two consonants, it is short. And when it comes between two consonants, it is also short. So what we have here is the R sound. It's not O, it's not U, it's not R, it is R, staff, all right, staff. And that's question number 10. The sound there is staff. And when we look at option A is hair, it is out of it. Option B is yeah, is out of it. All right. Then, okay. No, sorry, I'm jumping to 11. Option A here is tune. Tune is out of it. Option B is hoof, out of it. Option C is tough. And this is the actual sound because the sound here is tough. Tough. This is doff, is out of it. Then question 11 is bear. This is a diphthong. All right. So this is a diphthong. That's the sound you have in the air we breathe in and out. Bear. Then option A is hair. Hair. which is actually not correct. And then B is yeah, is also not correct. All right. The actual option that is correct is C, which is fair, fair, bear, fair. D is pie, out of it. Then question number 12, the sound we have here is a diphthong, oi, oi, oi. All right, oi. In most cases, when you have O and I combining, it is the diphthong oi. And the sound of this word is boil, boil. Option A is coil, which is actually the correct option because you have the sound oi, coil. B is soul, out of it. C is how, out of it. D is made, out of it. So you can see that when you attempt to pronounce the word, then you can identify the sound even using the rule of intuition because you have been exposed to the English language. You have always heard the sound, you know, from other speakers, and you have also spoken the sound from time to time. So you can rely on the rule, on your intuition to pick the correct option. Now, question number 13 is man. Again, this actually, you know, obeys our rule. This is short R sound because this is coming between two consonants. Again, you can see there are exceptions. Even though M is a voiced consonant and N is a voiced consonant, yet this sound, this vowel sound remains a short one. It is not man, it is man. All right, so it is short. So you need to really look at English words and be able to identify its unique sound. That's one thing with English, the English language. There are so many exceptions to rules that in most cases, to be an accurate speaker or user of the language, you need to learn each word as it comes, as you come across it. Then option A is tape, out of it. Option B is slash, slash. Of course, this is the right option. Slash, you have the short R sound, slash. Here you have palm, long R, ban, long R. So the correct option to question 13 is slash, slash. So then question 14, we have heart, heart, okay? So this is the long R sound, heart, R, heart. Option A is last, out of it. This is the central sound, which is last. Then this is clear. This is a diphthong, ear, clear. C is the long R sound, star. So this is actually the correct option here is R, star. So this is the correct option. Well, let's tick these options here. Again, let's tick this option here. So you can see we have been able to identify the correct options using specific phonological or phonetic rules. Question number 15, false, false. The long O sound is here, O. Well, Well, let me wipe this so that I can, So here what we have is or with 2 dots, false. Now, option A is brought, and this is quite correct because we have the long O sound. Brought, fault, brought, fault, brought. Option B is bowl, out of it, loan in C, out of it, laugh in D, out of it. All right, so, well, that is exactly what it is. And this is where we are going to draw the curtain in today's video. We have been able to look at the possibility of using the phonetic skills that we have learned, to easily and correctly answer oral English questions in order to score high in English test of orals in the West African Senior School Certificate Examination or Neco, Ssce, and other equivalent English exams. If you enjoyed today's video, like the video and share it with your friends and relations. If you are new to this channel and you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to the channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Many thanks for watching today's video. A big thank you to all of you out there for being part of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, kindly subscribe to this channel. Subscribe now as a way of giving us support. For notification about new videos, click on the bell icon. You will find the bell icon. Click on it so that whenever a new video is uploaded, you will be instantly notified. If you have actually enjoyed the video, like and share the video with your friends and relatives. This is very important. If you have any comments, leave your comments below. Any questions, any suggestions, we would gladly receive them and respond promptly and positively to them. See you in the next video. I look forward to always seeing you in the new video. Thank you and